You've captured my heart in ways I never thought possible. And even though you're more than I can handle, I can't seem to walk away. You're both a fire and a breeze, an intoxicating mix that makes me feel both alive and overwhelmed in the best way. You challenge everything I know about life, love, and myself. And yet I can't stop wanting more of the intensity you bring. Every time I think I've figured you out, you show me a new side, and it's a side I can't help but fall deeper into. You're not like anyone I've ever known. You're the kind of person who makes me feel things I can't explain, and it's both exhilarating and terrifying. I never imagined someone could make me feel so much, but here you are, breaking all the rules I thought I knew about love. You are a whirlwind of emotions, and though I can't keep up with you at times, I find myself wanting to stay in the storm. Every time you speak, I feel like you're pulling me into a world I didn't know existed. And though it's overwhelming, it's also exactly what I needed. You're a mystery I can't solve, but I don't mind being lost in you because you're the only one who's ever made me feel this way. With you, every moment feels both too much and not enough, and I find myself longing for more, even when I don't fully understand why. You make me question everything I thought I knew about love, life, and myself, and in that challenge, I find beauty. You are a beautiful contradiction, overwhelming yet calming, exciting yet terrifying, and that's what makes you impossible to forget. You've come into my life like a rush of energy I can't resist, and though I'm not sure I'm ready for everything you bring, I'm still drawn to it. You make me feel things I never thought possible, and even though I can't always keep up, I never want to stop trying. Every time I think I've reached the limits of what you can make me feel, you take me to a place I never thought I could go. There's no one else like you, no one who makes me feel both overwhelmed and understood at the same time. You are everything I didn't know I needed, and now that you've entered my life, I can't imagine it without you, no matter how much you challenge me. With every step we take together, I feel both lost and found, overwhelmed and complete. You are the kind of person who leaves me speechless, in awe of everything you are. And even though you're more than I can handle, I'm not ready to let go. You've shaken up my world in ways I can't explain, and even though I can't always keep up, I find myself craving more of what you bring. With every glance, I feel as if I'm falling deeper into a world of intensity and wonder, and I can't stop myself from wanting more. You are both a puzzle and a masterpiece, something I'll never fully understand, but I want to keep trying to discover all that you are. There's a fire in you that ignites something in me that I didn't know was there, and even though it's overwhelming, I can't walk away. The way you challenge me, excite me, and overwhelm me all at once is something I've never experienced before, and I can't get enough. Every word you speak feels like a journey into the unknown, and though it leaves me breathless, I want to keep walking down that path with you. You make me feel both incredibly alive and impossibly lost, and I find that mix more beautiful than anything I have ever known. Your presence is like a wave crashing over me, powerful, overwhelming, and completely consuming, but in the best way possible. There's no predicting you, and yet I find myself yearning to know everything about you, even though I'm not sure I can handle it. You're a storm that's both terrifying and exhilarating, and the more I get caught up in it, the less I want to leave. The way you affect me, push me, and stretch me beyond what I thought I could handle makes me feel both alive and afraid at the same time. Being with you is like walking a tightrope, exciting, risky, and always keeping me on edge, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. You bring a whirlwind of emotions into my life, and every moment spent with you is a beautiful mix of chaos and clarity. I thought I knew what love was until I met you. Now, I'm learning that it's so much bigger, deeper, and more overwhelming than I ever imagined. You make me feel like I'm standing at the edge of something beautiful and terrifying, and I'm not sure whether to jump or hold on tighter. You've come into my life like a flood, and though it's overwhelming, I can't imagine ever wanting it to recede. You challenge everything I thought I knew about myself, and with every new thing you show me, I find myself falling deeper into your world. You make me feel alive in ways I never thought possible, and even though it's overwhelming, I never want the feeling to end. In a world full of ordinary, you stand as something I could never have imagined. You're more than I could handle, and yet I don't want to let go. You walk into a room and suddenly everything changes. You're everything I never knew I needed, and more than I ever expected. You're the kind of person that makes me feel both overwhelmed and completely at peace all at once. I never believed in destiny until I met you. Now I'm learning that the unexpected can feel so right, even if it's too much to handle. There are no words that can fully express how you make me feel. You are a beautiful chaos I never want to escape. You've become a whirlwind in my life, spinning me in ways I never thought possible, and I find myself just wanting to be swept away. The way you challenge me, push my limits, and make my heart race is something I never knew I was capable of feeling. In your presence, I feel both alive and afraid, because you are more than anyone could have prepared me for. Meeting you was like stumbling upon a storm that was both terrifying and captivating. I can't look away, even though I'm overwhelmed. You're the storm I didn't know I needed, but now that I have met you, I don't want the calm to ever return. Every moment with you feels like an adventure into the unknown, and I'm excited even when I don't know what's coming next. I could never have predicted the whirlwind that would come with meeting you, but here I am, completely captivated by your energy. You're a beautiful mess that I can't quite figure out, but I never want to stop trying. I don't know if I can keep up with you, but I can't seem to pull away, even when I'm lost in the depth of your soul. With every glance, every word, you overwhelm me, and yet I can't seem to walk away. You're a challenge I'm willing to face. The intensity you bring into my life is something I could never have anticipated. But now that you're here, I never want it to end. You make me feel like I'm living a dream I never thought was possible. And yet, it's all so much more than I ever expected. You're not just someone I met. You're the storm that changed everything in the most exhilarating way. Being with you feels like swimming in the unknown, not sure if I'll drown or find something even deeper. You've brought out emotions in me I never knew existed, and while they're overwhelming, they feel like home. The way you move through life, unapologetically yourself, is something I can't quite match, but I'm addicted to the challenge. Every time I think I understand you, you show me another side of yourself that leaves me in awe and slightly afraid. You're not just an experience, you're an emotion, and I'm trying to keep up with the intensity of everything you bring into my life. I never imagined someone could make me feel so much, so intensely, so beautifully chaotic. But here you are. You're a puzzle I can't solve, but I never want to stop trying. You make my heart race in ways I never thought possible. You've captured me in a way I can't explain, and every day I find myself both overwhelmed and drawn to you in ways I can't resist. Meeting you was like finding an entirely new world, beautiful, overwhelming, and full of surprises that keep me on my toes. The way you've impacted my life is undeniable. You're a force that I didn't expect to find, but I'm so glad I did. You are everything I didn't know I needed and everything I didn't expect to handle, but somehow I can't stop wanting more. I never imagined someone could feel like both a challenge and a gift at the same time, but that's exactly what you are. You've redefined what it means to be alive, and while it's overwhelming, it's the kind of overwhelming I never want to escape. Every moment spent with you feels like a whirlwind of emotions, and I find myself both lost and found at the same time. Your presence is so powerful that it leaves me breathless, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You are like a breath of fresh air mixed with the chaos of a thunderstorm, both invigorating and too much to resist. The way you make me feel is something I've never known before, and even though it's intense, it's a feeling I never want to lose. I can't explain the hold you have on me, but every time I think I understand it, you surprise me in the best way possible. You're everything I never knew I needed, and even though I feel overwhelmed at times, I'm addicted to the feeling. Being with you is like living in a world I've never seen before, one that's full of mystery, excitement, and emotions I can't control. You're the kind of person that makes me feel alive in ways I never knew were possible, and I wouldn't trade that feeling for anything. In your eyes, I see both a challenge and a beauty that I can't escape, even if I wanted to. You've come into my life like a storm, and though I can't predict it, I never want the winds to die down.